Hello everyone. I am Arya, 29 years old. I was the woman who was full of anticipation, about to enter the marriage hall. However, on the eve of the wedding, I unexpectedly received a wedding poster and invitation from my fiancé and another woman. When I calmly broke up over the phone, he accused me of being stingy and urged me to be magnanimous and accept his wedding, which was in name only. This attitude of trifling with my feelings and downplaying betrayal completely shattered the last shred of hope I had in this relationship. I chose to completely break up and dismantle all the decorations in my wedding room, because I understand that not all hurt can be forgiven with magnanimity, and my dignity cannot be questioned. The day before the wedding, I received a wedding poster and invitation of my fiancé and someone else. I calmly broke up with him. The wedding planner Joey called me crying, begging me not to be mad. Arya, it is all my fault. One of the staff accidentally put my name and photo as the bride's. Please don't argue with Pablo. Before I could respond, Pablo took the phone and started angrily blaming me. Can't you be a little more magnanimous? As long as you are the bride, who cares whose name and face is on the poster and invites? Don't give Joey a hard time. She didn't do it on purpose. Later, I graciously gave up the bride's spot, and faith and Faye he regretted it. All this over something so minor. Yep, all this over something so minor. As soon as Pablo stepped into the house, he saw the decorated wedding room completely taken apart by me. He instinctively frowned and coldly questioned me, like I wasn't the girlfriend he had dated for years, but his subordinate, or just some outsider. Arya, we're about to get married, can't you behave for once? I picked out a new wedding dress for you. Take a look, do you like it? Pablo moved closer, looking down at me, trying hard to suppress the impatience in his eyes. I knew this was Pablo trying to soften his stance. But this time, I didn't want to give in. I just glanced at it, then looked away and ignored him, focusing on packing my things. A strapless gown. I don't like that style, and I can't wear it either. He's always known that. Pablo was gradually losing patience with me. He threw the wedding dress on the floor and grabbed my hand. Do you have to be this petty? Joey didn't do it on purpose. It was just a small thing, and she almost lost her job because of you. What more do you want? You can't even show a little tolerance, and you want to be Mrs. Liu. I looked at him calmly and said in a flat tone, "Did you pick out this wedding dress?" A flash of guilt appeared in his eyes, but it quickly disappeared. Joey picked it. I don't know anything about women's stuff. Besides, she's the wedding planner. Her taste can't be that bad. What? Is that a problem too? What about the invitations and posters, Arya? What the hell are you making a fuss about? I pried his hand off and looked at him coldly. Not making a fuss. Let's break up. Pablo's face instantly turned terrifyingly dark. His brows furrowed tight, his eyes sharp and fierce. It was intimidating. Arya, what kind of tantrum are you throwing now? You're almost 30. Can you grow up already? You want to break up over something this small? You weren't even handling the wedding stuff. I've been coordinating everything with Joey. We're exhausted, while you're just chilling at home. And now you want to stir up drama out of nothing. Here's the deal, call her now and apologize. After all, she's been working her ass off for our wedding lately. After hearing that, I was so mad I actually laughed. Apologize? She's worthy of that. I paid her. She screwed up at work, and now you want Faye to apologize to Faye. Pablo, are you blind and heartless? If that is the case, then just go ahead and have the wedding with her tomorrow. The wedding posters and invitations are already done. No need to waste them. Half a year ago, I paid a wedding planning company to hire Joey as our planner. At first, she was dedicated and responsible. But at some point, Joey started making decisions without consulting me, swapping out the things I liked for what she liked. And my fiancé not only didn't see anything wrong with it, he kept indulging her again and again. He said, "Aren't white roses and red roses both just roses? Why go through all that trouble to switch them?" These are just harmless little things. Don't make it hard on a kid who just graduated. I kept compromising over and over again. It wasn't until now that I realized this wasn't some trivial matter at all. Anything that makes you uncomfortable should never be considered a small thing. It is just that Pablo never understood that, and I realized it too late. I've already forgotten how I felt when I got that wedding poster of Pablo and Joey today. Heartbroken, angry, neither. It was just a fleeting numbness and relief. The way he talked to me on the phone made it feel like he and Joey were the ones about to get married, and all the years I spent giving everything to him felt like a joke. So fine, I'll just let them have it and walk away on my own. In the silence, I'd already packed my bags and was standing at the door. He loosened his tie, suppressed his anger, and said, "Jong Arya, you don't have a job. You look average. Your skills are lousy. If you leave me, how are you going to survive?" I gripped the doorknob, and my steps paused for a moment. I straightened my back, but the tears suddenly poured down like a flood. So, in Mr. Liu's eyes, I am that pathetic. I am a parasite who has to cling to you to survive. Well, starting now, this parasite is going to fend for herself. Live or die, it is none of your business. I met Pablo when I was 13, reunited with him in a foreign city at 23, officially got together at 26, and he proposed to me at 30. We set a wedding date. Like most ordinary couples, we made our way through ups and downs. I never imagined I'd be the one to bring up breaking up. When I was young, I fell for him because he promised me a home. And I, who lacked love since childhood, was moved and gave in. But years later, that very promise stabbed into my heart like a blade. After loading all my luggage into the taxi, the sky suddenly poured down in a heavy rain. Thunderstorms, this is the kind of weather I fear the most. It was during such a stormy day that my mother jumped from the building and left me forever. And once upon a time, on every rainy night like this, Pablo would be there with me. I used to rely on him so much. But now I don't need him anymore. The taxi carried me into the torrential rain falling from the sky. I stared at the waterfall, like streams running down the car window, zoning out. I don't know when it started between them. Maybe it was when I began hearing Joey's name come up more and more from Pablo's mouth. Maybe it is because Joey made him start fighting with me all the time, and then during a thunderstorm he ditched me and ran off to find her. Or maybe it is because Joey's moments are filled with photos of Pablo everywhere. Sometimes it's a pair of slender, well-defined hands. Sometimes it's his handsome side profile. Or maybe it's that strapless wedding dress. I couldn't help but laugh bitterly. Pablo forgot that I have a long scar on my chest, so I only dare to wear round neck clothes. He sure forgot fast, even though that scar came from saving him. That year, he was set up by his rivals. Someone came at him with a knife, and I threw myself in front of him, taking the stab for him. After that, he cherished me deeply. Every time he saw the scar, his eyes would turn red as he kissed it and whispered by my ear again and again that he would love me forever, that he'd marry me and make me the happiest bride in the world. But in the end, he still broke his promise. He even bitched to Joey about how my chest scar was ugly and disgusting, saying it killed any desire to sleep with me. It wasn't until that poster photo came out that I finally felt a moment of release and clarity. Thinking back, it's never the last straw that breaks the camel's back. But thank God it's not too late to turn back now. I found a hotel and stayed there for the night, planning to look for a place tomorrow. The next morning, I was jolted awake by the sound of my phone ringing like crazy. Still groggy with sleep, I pressed the answer button. Pablo's furious voice blasted from the phone, startling me wide awake. "Jong Arya, are you insane? Did you forget today is our wedding day? You have 10 minutes to get here or deal with the consequences yourself." I cursed under my breath. What a lunatic. Pablo was so full of himself. Even now, he still thinks I am just messing with him. Absolutely speechless. "Pablo, are you deaf or what? I already broke up with you. Do you even understand the words, break up?" Arya, haven't you had enough? Even Joey said she won't hold it against you and wants to apologize. How long are you going to keep this up? There are plenty of women who want to marry me. You're not the only option. Get over here right now. Grandma's got a weak heart. You know that. If something happens to her from all this stress, I'll never forgive you. He hung up the phone aggressively. Didn't even give me a chance to explain or fight back. I cannot care about Pablo, but I can't just ignore Grandma Lou. She's one of the few people in the Lou family who actually treated me well. I thought about it and decided I should go to the wedding scene. At the very least, give this relationship a proper ending. And give Grandma Lou some closure too. By the time I arrived at the wedding venue, it was already at the part where the groom kisses the bride. Joey was wearing that custom-made strapless wedding dress, her face covered by a veil, smiling like a flower as she looked at Pablo. Pablo glanced at me standing below the stage and smirked teasingly. He lifted her veil and kissed Joey right on the lips. How do I even describe what I saw in that moment? The boy I'd liked since I was 13, now at my own wedding venue, kissing another woman. Suddenly, I realized the person who had haunted me for over a decade didn't seem so important anymore. Other than that, I didn't feel anything else. When I was 13, my wish was to grow up and marry Pablo. Now that I'm 30, I'm glad I didn't marry him. As soon as their ceremony ended, reporters eagerly swarmed forward. Mr. Liu, I recall the person you were supposed to marry today isn't the one next to you now. What's with the sudden switch? Mr. Liu, you just kissed the lady beside you. What's your relationship with her? Was it because of the woman next to you that Miss Zhang didn't show up? A barrage of sharp questions flew at him from several reporters, giving him no chance to speak. In other words, they were asking if Joey was the other woman, and if I didn't come because of her. Pablo responded calmly. This lady here is the wedding planner for today. What you saw just now was only a rehearsal. The kiss was also part of the rehearsal, just a blocking trick. Please don't overthink it. The bride has arrived. Please give us some time to prepare. He curled his lips into a smirk, with a glint of slyness and defiance in his eyes as he looked at me. He took me backstage and acted like nothing happened, then said to me, "This is what happens when you are disobedient. All right, since you are here, hurry up and thank Joey. If she hadn't gone up in your place at the crucial moment, our Liu family would have become a laughingstock in Gangcheng." I stayed silent, just stared straight into his eyes. I don't know if Pablo has a heart. How can someone be this shameless? He kissed another woman, and then turned around like it was nothing, telling me to still marry him. Forced perspective, that's the kind of lie you tell a 3-year-old. I'm a person, not some plant or tree. With how he trampled my dignity, there's no reason for me to stay anymore. I originally wanted to part on good terms, but now I think never seeing each other again sounds even better. Seeing me turn to leave, Pablo called out to me in annoyance. Arya, stop right there. His eyes were cold. Is it worth making such a scene over a small thing like this? Today's our wedding day. Do you really have to ruin it for everyone? I really didn't want to hear that kind of talk anymore. I am making a scene, a small thing. I looked at him with disgust. So in your eyes, kissing another woman in front of me and all our guests is just a small thing. Then you tell me, what counts as a big thing? Pablo, you honestly make me sick. He froze for a moment after hearing what I said. Maybe he didn't expect me to say that. I couldn't be bothered with him anymore. I had barely taken a few steps when Joey, in a wedding dress, grabbed my hand and pretended to be all close and affectionate. But I didn't miss the provocation in her eyes. She said to me in a voice only the two of us could hear, "Heard your mom jumped off a building, head first, splattered like a watermelon. So gross to even think about." Pablo said, "You're just as crazy as your mom." I stood there frozen, trembling all over, my eyes turning blood red. Not even in my worst nightmares did I imagine Pablo would one day joke about my mom like that in front of someone else. How dare he? If not for my mom, he would have starved to death on the streets long ago. I thought we'd been through so much together, seen each other at our lowest. Even if we ever parted ways, I thought we'd never use those painful memories as weapons to stab into each other's wounds. I slapped her hard across the face twice. She stumbled back theatrically, crying out in pain. Since she wanted a beating, I was happy to oblige. Pablo reacted right after, carefully helping Joey back up, tears streaming down her face. She sobbed. I just wanted to apologize to Jiang Arya for stepping in on stage in her place earlier. I know she's upset with me, so I wanted to explain properly. But who knew she would? Pablo glared at me viciously, gritting his teeth as he said, Jiang Arya, get over here and apologize to Joey. You are the one who is late and clearly not taking this wedding seriously, and now you are playing this petty jealousy game. You are pathetic. If you don't apologize to Joey today, I'll cancel the wedding right now and publicly announce our breakup. He was sure I couldn't live without him. Sure that I would beg for his forgiveness like always, groveling at his feet, but not this time, never again. I looked at Pablo and smiled. Under his stunned gaze, I picked up the mic and spoke straight out. I'd like the media present today to witness this. I, Jiang Arya, and Pablo are officially done. From now on, we'll go our separate ways, live our own lives, and stay out of each other's business. I stepped off the stage and turned to Grandma Lu, apologizing sincerely. Grandma, I'm sorry for letting you down. I know you meant well, but Pablo and we just can't go on anymore. I thought Grandma Lu would blame me. Instead, she held my hand tightly, her fingers trembling slightly. Arya, it's us, the Lu family, who wronged you, and your mother too. We owe your family a debt we can never repay. No matter what decision you make, Grandma will always support you. Grandma Lu was someone who understood right from wrong. I couldn't help but tear up. I left the venue and the reporters chased after me with questions. Miss Jiang, you and Mr. Lu were in love for years. What caused the relationship to fall apart? Was it because of a third party? Miss Jiang, with this breakup, how much severance did Mr. Lu give you? Mr. Pablo, Miss Jiang broke up with you. Do you have anything to say? I stayed silent and ducked straight into the taxi. Pablo, this is the last bit of dignity I'm giving you. Through the car window, I saw Pablo finally realize what was happening and chase after the reporters. Funny enough, this time his face didn't show the usual impatience with me. Instead, it was panic and reluctance. He pushed through the crowd, shouting my name loudly, begging me not to leave. But it was already too late. From the moment Pablo started hurting me bit by bit for another woman. It was already too late. This time between us, there's no future left. For real. After breaking up with Pablo, I didn't stay in Gangcheng. It's not really my home anyway. I went back to Yuncheng instead. All these years with Pablo, honestly, he was pretty generous with me. If I don't throw it all into some shady investments, the money in my account is enough for me to live comfortably for the rest of my life. I'm not stupid enough to walk away from the breakup empty-handed. Before I left, Pablo came to see me once. Basically, he didn't agree to the breakup and begged for my forgiveness, but when he found out I was leaving, he got kinda pissed. Jiang Arya, you are just as selfish as ever. Why did you have to make such a scene at the wedding yesterday? Now all of Gangcheng sees us as a joke. Are you happy now? It's not like I cheated, so why am I the joke? He froze for a moment, then slumped down on the sofa, like he was venting to me, or maybe just talking to himself. You don't get it. Joey showing up made me feel like I got to live all over again, like suddenly my life was full of youth and energy again. I thought I was mentally prepared, that it wouldn't hurt, that I could take it all calmly. But when Pablo actually admitted he cheated, my heart still instinctively hurt for a moment. Just a fleeting second though. I didn't want to stay with him anymore. I wanted to leave this place. But he yanked me back. He shoved my face against the bathroom mirror and said, Jiang Arya, you are 30 already. You've got wrinkles at the corners of your eyes. You are getting old, and so is your heart. Jiang Arya, being with you is like drinking lukewarm tap water at 45 degrees. bland and tasteless. People like us who are born schemers and gloomy are naturally drawn to innocence and beauty. Give me a bit more time. Let me deal with her, then we can keep going. I fought to break free and slapped him hard. What was he trying to say? That he only made the mistake all men do, that he did nothing wrong. So it's my fault for not being attractive, for getting older, for not trying hard enough to please him. He meant that the reason we ended up like this, besides his part, was mostly on me, that it was because of all my rules and restrictions, because of my ambition. And Joey's appearance made up for what he felt was missing deep down, so that's why he was moved. Listening to the dozens of things he accused me of, I didn't even know I had that many flaws in Pablo's eyes. But none of those are reasons for him to betray me. I know him too well. He is proud and can't bear to lower his head, so he racked his brain to find some fault with me, just to feel a little better inside. I keep thinking, how did I ever restrain him or tie him down? He liked extreme sports. I thought they were dangerous, so I said no. He liked drinking and staying up late. I talked him into taking care of his body for the sake of his stomach and liver. As for me being too old in his eyes, you mean Joey being 23 and me being 30. But I was young once too. Me personality sucks, obsessed with money, calculating. But he forgot. I was always like this when he first met me. I've never changed. Seeing me stay silent the whole time, Pablo started freaking out in front of me. I met you when I was 13, lived in your house for 3 years. Then we started dating. Got engaged. Jung Arya, do you have to make such a scene? You think I am dirty, like you are so clean. No wonder your mom killed herself back then. You are both lunatics. Pablo's furious words left me frozen on the spot. Some things, once exposed, are like pulling back a blanket full of lice, disgusting, crawling everywhere. When I was 12, my dad died in an accident, and it was just me and my mom from then on. At 13, Pablo moved next door with his dad, stepmom, and a half-brother from another father. This boy, who was several months older than me, looked even younger, his body long, thin, and malnourished. Late at night, there were often sounds of beatings and scolding from next door, and Pablo's face always had new bruises layered over old ones. Half a month later, on a rainy late night, Mom brought Pablo, who had been sitting drenched at our doorstep, into the house. From that day on, we had an extra set of bowl and chopsticks at home. There was also an extra desk in the living room, and a small bed in the room. Mom had prepared all of it for Pablo, who often couldn't get into his own home. Gradually, this gloomy boy learned how to smile, and he started to fill out too. When he was 14, his dad and stepmom quietly moved away with another kid. They left only Pablo behind. From that day forward, Pablo officially became part of our family. Whatever I had, he would have too. When I was 16, Mom jumped from upstairs. That was when I first learned the word depression. I realized Mom had never stopped missing Dad. She went to be with him. The heavy rain washed the blood on the ground as I knelt there crying, begging Mom to wake up. It was Pablo who covered my eyes and dragged me away. It was him who kept telling me over and over that he would always stay with me. That he was my family. That same year, the Liu family found Pablo. Turns out he was their long-lost young master. Suddenly, I lost both my mom and Pablo. I became an orphan. We met again when I was 23. He confessed to me at 26 and proposed to me at 30. The person who once looked at me with eyes full of love is long gone. He humiliated me by ripping open old wounds, all because I exposed his cheating. Pablo also realized he misspoke and quickly apologized to me. Arya, I am sorry. I didn't mean to blurt that out. I just haven't come to terms with how our relationship turned out. We used to have so many beautiful memories. Pablo, the last thing you should have done was badmouth my mom in front of Joey. I'll never forgive you for that. If my mom's spirit is watching from above and finds out she saved a backstabber who ended up hurting her daughter like this, I think she'd regret ever letting you into our home that rainy night. I cut him off mid-sentence. Pablo's face turned pale, his body trembling uncontrollably, and he nervously grabbed my hand. "It's not like that. Aria, please believe me. I was drunk and said things I didn't mean, but I didn't cheat, I swear." I pried his fingers off mine one by one and looked him straight in the eye. "Pablo, what exactly counts as cheating? You and Joey have been super close for the past 6 months. So close that people still think you are a couple. Even the wedding decorations were all based on Joey's preferences. You never once objected to that. Our relationship is like that strapless wedding dress you gave me. Looks beautiful, but I can't wear it. Ever since I took that knife for you. Have you ever seen me wear a low-cut dress again?" He looked at me like he just woke up from a dream, regret and pain written all over his face. "I am sorry, Aria. Could you give me one more chance? I'll personally decorate the wedding venue. This time I'll definitely follow your preferences. I'll have a famous designer create your wedding dress. One of a kind. Will you marry me again?" I took a deep breath and slowly let it out. "Forget it." After saying that, he lowered his head and cried into his hands. "Aria, I am sorry, I am sorry." Pablo left looking utterly defeated, leaving behind a bank card before he went. I didn't refuse it. After Mom passed away, this little courtyard on the first floor was left empty. Just a bit of tidying up and adding some furniture and daily necessities, and it'd be ready to move in. I cleaned the inside and outside of the house all by myself until it was spotless, then came back from the pet and plant market with a bunch of goodies. I quickly arranged all the plants properly. The goldfish lay peacefully among the water lilies. The courtyard instantly came to life, and for the first time in a long while, I felt genuinely good. Mostly, I felt relieved. Being with Pablo these past few years was just so exhausting. Honestly, the relationship was never equal from the start. I kept uncontrollably trying to be worthy of him. He had a weak stomach, so I signed up for cooking classes just to make sure he ate well. He liked long curly hair but absolutely hated the smell of oil and smoke in my hair, so I made it a rule to always wash my hair and shower every time I cooked, keeping myself clean day in and day out. Now that I think about it, when he first met me, I always had short hair. I finally don't have to wake up at 6:30 on the dot anymore. No need to cater to Pablo every morning with a Western-style breakfast. No need to think about when Pablo will come home tonight. No, I can sleep in as late as I want, then get up and cook myself a bowl of sour and spicy noodles. I can also binge-watch dramas until dawn, without anxiously wondering why Pablo still isn't home. During the time I've been apart from Pablo, his friends suddenly popped up like mushrooms after the rain, messaging me, "Jong Aria. Pablo really knows he was wrong. Can't you give him another chance? He's been drinking himself silly over you every day. Got hospitalized because of his stomach issues. Don't you want to come see him?" That Joey isn't with Pablo. Seeing these messages, I felt nothing. I just blocked and deleted all of them. Those friends of his are all cut from the same cloth as Pablo. Joey's relationship with Pablo was never a secret to them. They all played dumb. It was just me who was the last to know. But now, I don't care anymore. What I didn't expect was that a month later, Pablo came looking for me on his own. That day I was humming a tune, squatting down to transplant hydrangeas into a ceramic pot, gently patting down the soil. When I looked up, I saw Pablo zoning out at the courtyard gate. I didn't know how long he'd been standing there. I stood up and didn't leave, just went to wash my hands at the sink. Pablo came over, picked up the watering can, and started watering the hydrangeas. "Aria, do you remember? I used this same ceramic pot to grow flowers before too." Of course I remember. Back then, Pablo was planting flowers in a clay pot, and I was eating watermelon, lying on a rocking chair watching him. The sky above was a clear blue, a gentle breeze drifted through the courtyard, and the air was filled with the scent of flowers. Sadly, things have changed completely now. He looked at me affectionately. "Aria, come back. I've rebooked the hotel and the wedding venue. As for her, I never planned to be with her. Don't pretend to be all sentimental here. Get lost. Don't make me call the cops. I kicked him out without mercy. Later, Pablo came a few more times, but I still refused to see him. I don't know where Joey got my home address from. The moment we met, she started yelling at me, then went nuts and began smashing stuff in my yard like a maniac. Jong Arya, you homewrecker, I'm pregnant, with Pablo's baby. I'm warning you, you'd better back off, or else. Or else what? I've already called the cops, you can explain your behavior to them later. Joey opened her mouth, looking a bit stunned. She didn't expect me to actually call the police. She froze on the spot, completely dumbfounded. She thought just because she's young and pretty, she could act all entitled and I'd just swallow the insult. I hadn't even settled the score with her over what happened last time, and now she came knocking herself. I looked at the smashed flowers and plants in the yard with a pang of heartache, and my disgust for Pablo just grew stronger. Joey and I were both taken to the police station by the cops. Pablo got a call from the police and rushed over in a panic. He frantically checked if I was hurt and breathed a sigh of relief when he saw I was okay. Seeing Pablo circling around me, Joey stomped her foot in frustration and quickly tugged on his hand, acting all sweet. Pablo, can you care about me and the baby in my belly too? Pablo flung her hand off, fuming. Joey, can you stop making stuff up? I only slept with you once, and that was because you drugged me. How could it work just from one time? I already gave you money. Can you stop clinging to me like some greedy parasite? Joey's eyes instantly turned red at his words, looking a bit lost. In the end, Joey apologized to me and compensated me with a sum of money, so I let her off the hook. Before leaving, Pablo wanted to take me home. Joey squatted down, saying her stomach hurt, trying to get Pablo to take her instead. I could tell Pablo was hesitating. Gross. I didn't want to get involved in their messed up drama. When I got home, I bumped into Chin Mart Fan at the staircase. The moment he saw me, he looked surprised, then lit up with joy. Jong Arya, it's really you, I'm not seeing things, right? I was surprised to see Chin Mart Fan too. Chin Mart Fan, long time no see. After my mom passed away, Aunt Lee, our neighbor, felt sorry for me and looked after me for a while. Chin Mart Fan is Aunt Lee's kid. We grew up together, basically childhood sweethearts. He always took good care of me and even confessed to me once. It is just that Pablo suddenly showed up halfway through, and I threw myself entirely into him, slowly lost contact with him. I originally planned to visit Aunt Lee when I got back, only to find out she doesn't live here anymore. Chin Mart Fan. How has Aunt Lee been lately? I'll visit her another day. She is doing well. If my mom knew you were visiting, she'd definitely be super happy. I opened the door and invited Chin Mart Fan inside for a bit. He saw the mess in the yard and asked what happened. Then he asked why I came back alone and why Pablo wasn't with me. I poured out everything that had happened recently to Chin Mart Fan. I've always been kind of a loner, didn't have many friends, just revolved around Pablo all day. Before I got together with Pablo, Chin Mart Fan was sort of a friend to me, but later on, Pablo didn't like it, so he made me cut ties with him. After hearing everything, Chin Mart Fan was even angrier than me. I watched him curse for over 10 minutes straight, and all the awkwardness and gloom from the police station earlier just vanished. I burst out laughing. Chin Mart Fan saw me laugh and laughed along, then started helping me clean up the yard before he left. Later on, Pablo called me a few more times, just to apologize. Really? I got tired of hearing it. He told me Joey was never pregnant, it was all a lie, and he'd completely cut ties with her, begged me to go back and marry him. I didn't respond, just blocked and deleted him all in one go. Finally got some peace and quiet for a while. Since then, Chin Mart Fan has been dropping by to see me every few days, sometimes bringing Aunt Lee along. My little courtyard gradually became livelier. Aunt Lee would often tease me warmly. Xiao Hui, our Chin Mart Fan has liked you since he was little. We still have your photo at home. That day when you were watering flowers in the yard, he was pouring tea on the side, and it overflowed. You didn't even notice. Aunt Li laughed so hard her wrinkles all smoothed out. Xiao Hui. Look, Qin Martfei's not young anymore, and still single. Why don't you marry him and be my daughter? In-law. Don't worry. With me around, that brat Qin Martfen will definitely treat you right. We won't have any mother, in-law and daughter, in-law drama. Anyway, you two used to play house as kids, and he always played your groom. No one could ever snatch that from him. Qin Martfein treats me really well. Even though I'm a bit slow, I can still feel that his feelings for me are different. But I just got out of a failed relationship. Qin Martfein deserves someone better. Auntie, I don't know anything. My education's not great, and I don't really have any skills. Qin Martfein is so outstanding. His girlfriend in the future will definitely be just as amazing. I smiled. That's something Pablo used to tell me all the time. After hearing it enough, I started to believe it too. Who says that? Qin Martfein's voice came from outside the courtyard. Xiao Hui, you're wonderful. Don't look down on yourself. I'm wonderful. He pushed open the courtyard gate and started listing all my strengths. You can raise fish and flowers, any plant you touch, you can keep alive. And the food you make tastes just like the stuff sold outside, maybe even better. You did a great job with the spreadsheet, it helped me out a lot last time. With all of Qin Martfen's compliments, my mood kept getting better, and I started feeling more confident. Aunt Li also started praising me. When I first met you, you always looked so gloomy. A pretty girl like you should smile more. Just look at how gorgeous your smile is now. You look way better like this. The words from Qin Martfei and Aunt Li were like sunshine after a storm. Clouds clearing and the sun peeking through. That day, Qin Martfei confessed to me. I opened up and talked with him all night. And I said yes. He told me that if he had known earlier that Pablo treated me badly, he would have snatched me back no matter what. In the fall, Qin Martfei and I registered our marriage. He was so happy in the yard like a little kid. In a moment of deep affection, he lowered his head and kissed me. I closed my eyes, completely lost in the moment. Pablo stood outside the yard. The rose in his hand fell to the ground, petals scattered. He lost control a bit and came forward, trying to drag me away. Arya, come with me. Let's get married right now. We'll register today and have the wedding tomorrow. I really broke things off with Joey. I swear from now on, you are the only woman in my life. Seeing this, Qin Martfei immediately shielded me like a mama hen protecting her chick. She is not going back with you. We've already registered our marriage and we're about to throw a banquet. You're welcome to come and have a drink at our wedding. I know Qin Martfei did it on purpose, but I didn't stop him. Pablo was completely stunned, his face full of disbelief. Go back. I am already married. Don't come looking for me again. He still wanted to say something, but I pulled Qin Martfei inside without looking back. Pablo was left alone in the yard, silently brooding. We used to love each other, but he was the one who destroyed this relationship with his own hands. I just hope that from now on, we respect each other and never meet again. Extra chapter Jiang Arya and Qin Martfei held their wedding. Actually, for Qin Martfei, the budget for this wedding was already quite high. 9,999 white roses and a non-strapless wedding dress. All things Jiang Arya liked. Everyone around praised him for being deeply in love. Jiang Arya cried really hard at the wedding. She didn't even cry this hard when I proposed to her back then. She even said, "Thanks to my husband for everything he has done for me." I sat below listening, only feeling irritated. I think I treated Jiang Arya well over the years, never shorted her on food, drink, or anything else. In our circle, who doesn't have 10 or 8 lovers? But I only foolishly kept Joey for a while. Ever since breaking up with Jiang Arya, I cut off all contact with her, and have kept myself clean ever since. I don't believe Qin Martfei is really as good as Jiang Arya says. We're all men. What man doesn't fool around? Onion with money will eventually turn bad. So I privately invested in his company. Chinmart Fane's company kept growing and making more money. In this circle, of course, there are tons of temptations. I didn't believe he could stay clean in a dirty world. By then, Jong Arya would see his true colors and come back to me, but in the blink of an eye, 10 years passed. Chinmart Fayan didn't take a single wrong step. Jong Arya gave birth to a daughter for him. She is basically a miniature Jong Arya. I am going crazy with jealousy. Now their second kid is already born too. It's a boy. Chinmart Fayan and Jong Arya now have both a son and a daughter. And I'm still all alone, destined to die in solitude. It was me who lost the person I once loved most, and the one who loved me most. If I could go back, I'd tell that 13-year-old boy, when you grow up, marry Jong Arya and treat her well for the rest of your life. Don't ever lose her again.